In just 5 days, everything will change for Terra Luna Classic. Before we talk about what this major event is that's coming up in just 5 days, we need to talk about why we need a major event so badly. So let's look at the Terra Luna Classic price charts to see what's going on. Well, right now we can see a pretty clear picture happening here, honestly. We can see that right now we have some peaks that are going on up here about this 3738 level, and we're having the bottoms happen roughly at the 18 level. And so what we're seeing is a support and resistance threshold that we're kind of bouncing between right now. It's also clear to us that since October 1st, roughly 21 days ago, we've seen a declining pattern happening for Terra Luna Classic. We're seeing a major decline. We get a little bit of up and then we decline again. And now we're just onto another decline yet again. And with these declines, we're seeing consolidation happening. So what you have is you have the tops kind of going lower and your lows going a little bit higher. And so you're having this massive volatility that's shrinking over time. This can also be seen by the second drop right here. We're seeing this kind of come together. Again, you have major volatility, but then it shrinks down and gets smaller volatility over time. And we'll probably see that again on this third set that we're starting right now. So we are clearly in a consolidation phase for Terra Luna Classic. And well, how can we get out of that? That's going to require a major event right now for us to see. And this is where the event that's coming up in just a couple of days is so critical. Now this is relating to validators, and we go to LUNC Penguins, we can see the list of validators, and we can see that we're showing 1 through 10 out of 83 total validators active right now on the Terra Luna Classic ecosystem. Now currently only the original validator set is allowed to have validators out, so either the people end up relaunching their validators on Terra Luna Classic, or they sold the rights to that validator, the access to that validator to someone else who now is running the validator. So I'm sure you've seen other YouTubers talk about how they're launching their validators, and essentially what happens is if a crypto king, for example, wants to launch his validator, he'd either have to buy the access and be able to get that from someone else, or he has to wait a couple days. And that's what's happening in 5 days, is that validator pool is going to open up for anyone to go ahead and launch a validator node on their own. You might be wondering, why is it important for there to be more validators? Well, the first main reason is securing the network, right? Right now, these validators, they help actually validate the blockchain. And so without them, we can't have the Terra Luna Classic ecosystem validated. In theory, if we went down to 0 validators, which realistically would probably never happen, but if it did happen, then the network would basically cease to exist. Nothing could be processed, nothing can go forward, because we need a set of validators to process transactions. And so this helps secure the network and add some distribution there. The other major thing right now is voting. When we go back over to LUNC Penguins, you can see the voting power. A couple of these top validators, they can get 51% majority vote really easily right now if they needed to. And so essentially what we want to do here is get this distributed more. We don't want any validator over probably 5 to 10% voting control. If you guys are getting value out of this video, be sure to hit the notification bell and subscribe down below so you don't miss another great video just like this. This really protects against a couple of key things. The first one is malicious intent, right? Some validator could come along, get a lot of voting power and put through something that's going to hurt the community. That's obviously not something we want, but even beside that, we have a lot of validators here who are trying to push forward for the community's benefit and who are genuinely good people. The threat for those good people who are trying to build for the community and really support the community, the threat there in those situations would instead be someone getting hacked. In theory, if their validator node got hacked, someone could sign and vote on a proposal with, for example, a no with veto, when in reality, it's something that the community really wants. This could be really bad. And for example, if a hacker came along and ended up doing that, they really only need to take over 4 or 5 validator nodes, and they could potentially swing a vote to a no that would otherwise be a yes. And so right now we do have some security features that do help protect us against some of these threats, right? I can't go out and create a proposal, hack a bunch of validators and say, give me all the community pool amount, give me all those tokens, because there are some checks and balances to verify and make sure that we don't have that happen. However, in the future, that might not be the case. The other major reason why this is so important is that this allows builders, people who are working on the dApps or different utility functions, games, casinos, NFT trading platforms, a lot of different utilities, they could actually meaningfully contribute to governance for Terra Luna Classic. And people could go, hey, I really like using OpenSea, for example, and I'm going to stake with the OpenSea validator to support them because I know that that's something I really enjoy, and they probably have my best interests in mind as they have their NFT platform. So this really creates a more holistic approach and really enables the community to come in and take the steps to take over the governance and do what they need to do. Do you guys want to know what it actually takes for Terra Luna Classic to hit $1? Check out this video up here.